Hello YouTube, welcome back to the shop. On this episode of What's in Yours, we have a new arrival to the scooter family, and that is the Nanrobot D5 Plus 2.0. So in this video, we're going to be doing some unboxing. We're going to be going through an in-depth specification review of the scooter, and then also too, we're going to be talking about scooters. So before I get to the unboxing, I want to talk about scooters, and also I want to talk about the conversation that I had with Nanrobot's customer service. So let's talk about scooters first. A lot of you know that I used to have the D4 Plus 2.0 that I sent back. Really, when it came down to it, the loose bolts and some of the other things I found with the scooter, you know what, I could have fixed, but the speed thing is what got me. I wanted a faster scooter, and if I went 38, 39, 40 miles an hour, I probably would still have the scooter. Because of the other issues, I think I could have solved fairly easy. Now, I don't know if there's some confusion, but I think some of you believe that I sent the D4 Plus back and they sent me the RS7 scooter in its place. That is not true. What Nanrobot did, because I only had a scooter for about 2 weeks before I sent it back, what Nanrobot did is they were nice enough that since I was on a happy customer, they took the scooter back. Then I paid an additional $1,450 for this scooter. So I paid $1,289 for the D4 Plus and an additional $1,450, and they sent me the RS7. So I don't want there to be no confusion about that. You can't send a D4 Plus back and they send you almost a $3,000 scooter. That's not the case. Then secondly, I want to talk about price to value. We all know that Nanrobot has, the loose bolts thing, and their customer service could need some improvement, and their shipper could definitely use some improvement. I personally had a conversation with the Nanrobot's customer service, and when I ordered the D5 Plus, this scooter is actually going to be for my wife. So I wanted to express my concerns with them and ask him what are they doing about those issues that I just described. And he was aware of all of them. He spoke pretty good English. And so he said, look, we're constantly working on our workers in the factory, making sure all the bolts are tight. He says it's kind of been a rough go, but we are getting better. He said they've been in a lot of meetings with FedEx that does their shipping about how all of their customers keep on getting these beat up boxes and things in the scooter are broken, and it's just a domino effect from there. So they've been working a lot with shipper. They were in talks about switching shippers. So those are some of the issues they are definitely aware of. Now the customer support, I've never really had an issue with them. Yes, is there a problem with the time difference? Yeah. Do they sometimes not get back to you for a day or two? Yeah, of course, but it goes basically sums it up to a price to value aspect. There's really, at least in my research, there's not a lot of scooters on the market for less than $1,400, $1,200 to $1,300 that you get warranty, you get speeds of anywhere from 32 to 35 miles an hour, and the quality of the scooter for the price point they're offering. You're just not going to find it. And if you do, it's very few and far in between. So I think price to value, the Nanrobot D4 Plus and the D5 Plus is great. I mean, bad news travels faster than good news. And of course, the people that are having problems with their scooter, that's the first thing they're going to do. They're going to put it all over the place and they're going to tell you about it. But the people that didn't have a problem with their scooter, most of the people are out there driving their scooter and they're not worried about doing videos or writing emails about how bad the scooter was because it's working fine. And so I've had my feedback, at least from what I got, is there was a lot of people that are happy with Nanrobot, and there's some that are not happy because of whatever issues they had. But it goes back to that price to value. I got the RS7, paid almost $3,000 for this thing. This thing is rock solid. Now, of course, they don't offer it on their website anymore. A few days actually after I bought it, funny story, they quit offering it, but they got the LS7 and then they got the RS11. Those are both anywhere from $2,100 to $3,200 scooters. But this thing has been absolutely a monster. It goes, I don't know, You know, the fastest I think I've had it was 52 miles an hour. But 40 plus miles an hour all day long, it's a beast. But that's what you get for $3,000. We're talking about the D4 and the D5, you know, $1,200–1,300 scooters. So hopefully in the future, Nanrobot, they're aware of their issues. They're going to get better. And hopefully in the future, we can see some really good, exciting products coming out of Nanrobot's factory. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the boxing video. In the unboxing portion of this video, and I can tell you this, that where I was talking about their shipping, this box actually came in with barely a scratch on it. And I was very surprised because even the FedEx guy, I watched him take it off of the truck and put it on a dolly, and he brought it to my front door, and there was barely a scratch on the box. So hopefully that's a sign that Nanrobot's going in the right direction with their shipping. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's dive inside this box and see what kind of condition the scooter is in.
I'm going to grab the
Camera and show you the inside of the box. Okay, you got a little bit of the foil there broken up, but I just want to see, because I want you to guys be witness to see if they're actually getting a little bit better with their shipping. Let me set this camera back up. So while we're doing this unboxing, I'll tell you about my police story. Got pulled over by the police last night. No, night before. I was actually doing some testing on the scooter, and I was racing up and down the street. It was about 11:30 at night, and I was doing some testing. I was messing around with my GPS and my controller and doing some things. And there wasn't a lot of traffic, and so that's why I was doing it at night. And next thing you know, I'm zipping up the hill, and I'm going full blast on my RS7. And I have lights on the side of my scooter that kind of almost look like police lights out of your peripheral vision. And so I thought it was, you know, just my lights for a second. And then all of a sudden I look back and I see blue lights. And I'm like, oh crap. So the guy gets out, you know, I get off my scooter, of course, and he's like, man, I clocked you going at 50 miles an hour. And I was just like, I mean, I wasn't sure really how fast I was going because, you know, there was a car behind me. I was trying to pay attention to the road at this particular time. And he's like, I had to punch it just to even catch up to you. And I was just like, oh great, is he going to give me a ticket? Make a long story short, I knew the cop from, you know, around the way, and he, you know, I have my helmet and gloves on and my lights on and all that stuff. I didn't have any safety glasses on, so he kind of gave me a hard time about that. But for the most part, he was just like, look, slow it down. Keep here in Northern Virginia, he says, you know, stay over to the right. You kind of go over under with scooter laws. You're supposed to not go over 35 miles an hour. So I said, all right, that's cool. And then, of course, he started looking at the lights and stuff. He's like, man, those are cool lights and stuff. And I was like, hey, man, you mind if I get a picture of my scooter in front of your police car? And he's like, cool. And so that's the new picture I have as my profile picture on the YouTube page. So there you go. That's my story. Sticking to it. All right, let's see here. Let's pull this thing out of the box. Man, I'm gonna tell you what, that's so much lighter than that RS7. All right, here we have it, folks. So we got our brick charger. Let's look at it. 58.8 volts, 2.0 amps, same as the D4. Got the cord. Got the normal tools. And then look at this. Huh. A whole new different manual. I want you guys to check this out because my last manual was crap. So it's got color photos, blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. Interesting. All the specs on the controller there to change that. So they upped their game with the manual. Now, people that's had a D5 Plus, maybe this is the manual that usually comes with it. You can let me know in the comments. Matters needed attention. After sales email support at nanrobot.com. Alright, so let's continue on with this. Alright, I've never had the D5 Plus, so there you go, there's the locking. Kickstand. Oh, well, so far I'm pretty impressed with this thing. Let's check that out. Alright, let's get you a closer look now that I got it set up like that. Of course, it has the shipping due on it. Now, of course, I got this scooter for my wife, like I said, and this one has street tires on it. So it's going to be a little bit of a smoother ride. It's got the dual shocks in the back, the footrest. Of course, the spring fronts, but there is a video of them where they put a like a rubber O-ring here and here. That's supposed to quiet down that knocking noise when the springs retract. But I like this deck. It's a lot. I think it looks a lot cooler than the D5. I'm sorry, D4. So that's pretty nice. These lights on the side, and then we got the lights in the front. And the neck is a lot different. Looks a lot more sleek than the D4. Of course, the D4 I think is like a couple $100 cheaper. And then, hey guys, look at this. No broken controller. So, maybe they are living up to what they were talking about. On and off switch, voltmeter, single, equal mode, brakes. Now, I was looking at these brakes here. Looks a little bit fancier than the D4s. That is under there. Some kind of charging port. I'm not sure. I'd have to read the manual. Of course, the D5 owners can chime in on that. Got the brakes there. Plastic fender up front. Plastic fender in the back. I like this neck locking mechanism. I think it's a little bit better than the D4. Then let's get on this side. Double springs. Lights in the front. Kind of like a little bit of a bumper guard right here. And the normal cable brakes in the back. Alright, now we're going to be pulling out the tape measure. Oh, and then look at this too. His and her key fob. Now the D4 didn't come with this. I'm assuming it's an alarm. Yes. To unlock and lock the scooter. And then it has the key as well. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so I'm going to set this camera back up. Alright, let's see here. The deck is about 10.5 inches wide. Oh, I'm sorry, let me turn off this fan real quick. It's burning up in here. I don't have air conditioning in my shop. So the deck's it's about 10 inches wide. about 24 inches long. Got some grip tape coming right here in the middle. Got some plastic bumpers on the sides. Let's go ahead and extend the handlebars up. Okay, that's as far as they'll go. Let me tighten this up real quick. All right, let's take the measurement from the handlebars. I like to do these measurements because this really helps out with us tall guys if you're thinking about ordering this. Let's see, we got 48 inches from the ground up, and that's the handlebars extended all the way. Now, if you can see it in your video, the locking mechanisms for these handlebars seem to be a little bit more sturdy. So far so good. So let's turn this thing on and take a look at the lights. All right, they shipped it to me with 48.5 volts. All right, that's the alarm. That's unlocking it. There's a little volt symbol right there. I don't know what that's for. That's also, so it has like a panic alarm on it. All right, well, played around with that. See the horn. All right, so I guess we're gonna have to cut on the lights, which is here. Turn on the controller. Typical controller. That's not bad. I wasn't expecting that, but I got to get this camera again because I got to show you the blinkers. I didn't know this thing had blinkers. All right, well, that's surprising. And then also, I mean, it seems like a little annoying right now, but I guess I'll get used to it. But when you got the blinker on, it beeps. Wow, that's pretty cool. At least in my opinion, it is. And also keep in mind too, everybody, nobody's paying me to do these videos. Again, I do these videos because I want scooters to be fun, and we can do modifications together and learn together. So that's why I do these videos. And also, you know, subscribing to my channel. Eventually, you know, you get a lot of subscribers, and it really helps me out, so I appreciate it. All right, working brake lights. Oh. Do not hit that button when it's on. That is the throttle button. All right, working brake lights. Headlight seems to be okay. You know what, let me turn off the lights real quick and see how bright that thing is. All right, pretty little decent spotlight on it. Of course, I'll probably still end up putting on my own additional light there, but of course, you know, they got lights in the front. Basically, I just call those marker headlights because they don't really do a lot except light up the immediate area in front of your scooter. So, okay, well, if there's anything else you want to know about the scooter, please let me know. I think this has the 26 amp hour battery. And as always, in my fashion, the way I do things, I like to take them apart and look at them to try to identify any issues before they become one. So in future videos, I'll take the deck apart. We'll see what's inside this thing. Let me just kind of fill the bolts on this. Okay, well, at least for this scooter, Nanrobot really stepped it up. And it looks like I'm going to be pretty happy with this one. Of course, you know, I'm going to put those rings on the shocks. And then I'll do some riding and some testing on this thing and give you my opinion on it. So now, as you can see in my family of scooters, I call this the Go Fast scooter, the RS7. I have the commuter scooter, lightweight, low power, low mileage on it as far as distance. And then I got the medium range scooter here. So should be lots of fun. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you visiting my channel, and there's a lot more to come. So until next time, ride safe.